Great fantasy and science fiction, whether it's written or on TV or in the movies, it moves us, it touches us, it really inspires us with the things that it says, the thoughts that are put forward. Here today, I'm talking about the 10 most significant, most influential, most powerful statements that are out there right now that I've experienced in science fiction and fantasy. So there really are so many quotes that I could draw from. I've waded through a lot of different things. There's so many I'm leaving out of this list, but this is kind of a top 10. Honestly, if I did this episode tomorrow, there might be different things in this list. But today, as I thought about it, what are the science fiction and fantasy quotes that have been most meaningful to me, have hit me, have maybe inspired me to look at the world a little different? Some of these on this list will always be on this list, and some, they're going to move about. But today, let's hit them. My top 10. Number 10, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Spock from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Such a meaningful quotation. Now, it's actually said twice in that movie. The first time, not as significantly, but it's foreshadowing for what comes near the end of the film that is just a gut punch. Oh, man. But when you think about it, this is what people say to themselves when they make decisions that sacrifice their own needs or wants for the benefit of the masses, for the many. Maybe it's for their family, maybe it's for their organization they are part of, maybe it's for the world, but powerful statement. Number 9, we love what we love. Reason does not enter into it. In many ways, unwise love is the truest love. Anyone can love a thing because. That's as easy as putting a penny in your pocket. But to love something despite, to know the flaws and love them too, that is rare and pure and perfect. That's, of course, a statement of Kvothe from The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. Puts on full display the beauty of the prose that Rothfuss brings to this still not completed trilogy. Oh, man, we've got The Name of the Wind, we've got The Wise Man's Fear. We need the rest of the Kingkiller Chronicle, because it's full of things like this. I could have made a top 10 Kingkiller Chronicle quotes, and you would have loved everything I put here. But this was a good one to include in my top 10 of all SFF. Number 8. I wish it need not have happened in my time, said Frodo. So do I, said Gandalf, and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. So that's, of course, a dialogue between Frodo and Gandalf from The Fellowship of the Ring, Book 1 of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Gandalf is a font of wisdom, and he has numerous quotations through this trilogy that are very meaningful and moving to me. But this one has so much application. We all end up over the course of our lives in situations that suck, in circumstances we wish hadn't happened. They can be small little things, they can be massive, very trying things. But again, the stuff that happens isn't what matters as much as what we decide to do, to choose in the midst of such things. Because that's what we still have power over. We don't control the world around us, but we do control ourselves. Number 7, sometimes a hypocrite is nothing more than a man in the process of changing. This is a Brandon Sanderson statement. Dalinar is his character delivering it in Oathbringer, Book 3 of the Stormlight Archive. Again, I could do a top 10 just on quotes from the Stormlight Archive. I don't feel that way about everything Brandon Sanderson has written, but the Stormlight Archive is chock full of meaningful, deep, powerful statements. this is one of the biggest. We are all, in general, pretty comfortable with our hypocrisies. We have flaws that we turn a blind eye to. And yet sometimes we take a closer look at ourselves and we try to grow. We try to improve. So this statement really has some meaning. That hypocrite over there, yeah, he might just be someone still growing. And of course, that someone over there sometimes is what somebody's saying about you. Number 6, courage is about learning how to function despite the fear, to put aside your instincts to run or give in completely to the anger born from fear. Courage is about using your brain and your heart when every cell of your body is screaming at you to fight or flee, and then following through on what you believe is the right thing to do. That's Harry Dresden speaking, just thinking aloud in Ghost Story by Jim Butcher, part of the Dresden Files, well into the series where it's gotten much deeper and the storyline is more intense, stressful, focused as we're building up to some pretty big things. I love the Dresden Files. A lot of it's just fun, but there are some deeper moments, again, especially in those latter books, and this is a powerful statement. Everyone gets afraid. Everyone has a chance to run. Courage? Yeah. It's doing what needs to get done anyway, despite how you feel. Jim Butcher being wise. My son is shocked. Okay, number 5. It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. This is said by Albus Dumbledore to Harry Potter in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Dumbledore is another one of those wizard characters, full of wisdom and ready to impart it to those who will listen. Harry is the one who we get to see most often benefiting from Dumbledore's statements. But think about that one. It's not just your abilities, it's your choices. What do you choose to do? Who do you want to be? What will you make of yourself? When the chips are down, when the times are tight, which way are you going to go? That's who you are. Yeah, wow. Number 4, you can never know everything, and part of what you know is always wrong. Perhaps even the most important part. A portion of wisdom lies in knowing that. A portion of courage lies in going on anyway. This is a statement from Lan, or Alan Mandragoran, from Winter's Heart, one of the books of The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Lan is a stoic character who definitely has some depths, and here he's laying out some wisdom for us. And the life application here. None of us know everything. That's for sure. We're always trying to navigate forward with partial information. And some people are frozen by that. Some people can't make a decision because they don't know what they don't know. Others make stupid decisions because they're confident they do know everything. It is the wise person who recognizes there's X factors, man. There are things I can't possibly know, but I'm going to make a decision anyway, based on what I do know, to the best of my ability. Now, sometimes those decisions end up wrong, but a wise person doesn't beat themselves up over that because you know you are limited and you did the best you could. Now let's adapt and overcome. Number 3, I have found through painful experience that the most important step a person can take is always the next one. Dalinar from Oathbringer. Again, book 3 of the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I had to put 2 quotes in, okay? There's so many good ones in this series. But, I mean, what a statement that is. The most important step is always the next one, which implies so clearly not giving up. Always striving forward. Always reaching for more. Always continuing to try. No surrender. We'll keep at it and see what happens. Number 2, once you've accepted your flaws, no one can use them against you. Tyrion Lannister, A Game of Thrones. Tyrion is the wisest character in the whole series as written by George R. R. Martin. Portrayed very well on the screen in the TV show, also, until you get to like the last couple of seasons. But in the books, Tyrion's amazing. His perspective on the world, wow. And this was such a key statement that he's able to make. Tyrion, of course, has been looked down on, pun intended, his whole life, and he's gotten over it. He knows who he is. He knows his flaws. He knows his shortcomings. Again, pun. He knows his issues, and he's not in denial. They are what they are. And now you can't hold them against me. You can't throw them in my face and have me back down. No, I know. I know myself. And in that is power. Number one, the most significant statement from science fiction and fantasy to me. I have used this again and again. I've said it to other people, but I've applied it to myself. Do or do not. There is no try. Yoda from The Empire Strikes Back, which he, of course, says to Luke Skywalker when he's all angsting about, I can't do it. Do it. Nike approves this one. Just do it. So do it or do not. People who say, I'll try, are acknowledging that, but I probably will fail. No, do it, and you'll succeed. Or maybe you won't succeed, but you still did it to the best of your ability. And if you don't quite nail the target, what did you learn? And apply it. Try is for wimps. It's a cop-out. Yoda, you've got it right. All right, there's my thoughts here. If you enjoyed this, then you should definitely like this video, but you should also take a look at all the things that Zach and I put here on Fantasy for the Ages and subscribe. That's what you do when you like the content you're seeing. If you have other significant quotes that you would like to contribute here that could have been in the top 10, put them down in the comments below. Spoiler light, say where they're from, but don't give a lot of extra context to it because it might be from something I haven't read yet or watched yet, and I don't want you to ruin it for me. Just perk my interest. So maybe I'll go check it out. Also, down there, find the show notes where you can see our social media links, our Discord server invitation, come join us there, and Patreon, where you could choose to support us and keep this content coming out. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.